Content. We're wasting great content. Oh, I was complaining.
Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BETSPERTS.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. Andy, it's Monday. It's been a weird day. Weird one.
It's just weird looking at the night. And, honestly, I mean, you guys realize we're not big into hockey. Playoff hockey is great. I've watched more than I actually have in previous years, really, and I still am not a big hockey guy. And it just feels weird that there's no NBA game tonight.
It does.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks with this. And the schedule is what it is. And we'll get we'll get games. We'll get some good games tomorrow. And I did make this joke this morning when I said, Atlanta and Milwaukee in the conference finals. I guess I'll start working on football. Atlanta's an exciting young team. That Herder, like he was Huerter, he was an animal. Even a hurt Trey was good late. It can probably still be a pretty fun conference finals. I'll pay attention. I'm just kind of joking there.
How hurt do you think Trey is?
His shoulder.
Well, let's talk about the NBA. Let's talk about the NBA in a little more detail. We don't have to just rip right through it, but it is a crazy because in a normal year we wouldn't even have NBA playoffs to talk about right now. They would have been done a couple of weeks ago. Oh yeah,
you sent me the clip. It was like 5 years ago today.
Yeah,
it was the
Game
comeback,
7.
Game 7. So we're like 2 weeks behind where we normally are at this point, or behind, because normally we should be done with the NBA playoffs. We should move it, which actually helps. It helps cover our ass for a little more content before we get to football. Because once we get over to football here, it'll be all football except for some fun, obviously the Olympics. But it's I don't know. Like we complain a little because I miss bubble ball so much, but at the same time, the playoffs have been. I've lost almost every future I've placed in the NBA.
Yeah. I don't have any. I have nothing.
I think I have some Clippers left.
I have some Clippers left, but I bought out of so much of that already.
So I'm not having a good time there.
No.
I've won some game bets. Like there's been a few that come through pretty easily, but all my futures died, just horrible fates. But at the same time, I'm still having fun, I guess, because it has been. It usually it's just like, who's LeBron on? And like, who's the super team in the opposite conference? Like 80% of the time, those two teams are going to meet in the finals. So the Bucks, despite, some of the things that have happened there with the coaching and just the play overall, the Hawks with some young talent, the Suns with a fun young team, them going this far, it's fun. Like having some uncertainty is kind of fun from a viewer's standpoint because the NBA has become a bit of a repetitive drone into the playoffs here. Well, for like the last 10 years. So I don't know, like a wide open year is fun, even though
wide open year. Yeah. It feels more like it feels
possibly a car payment or two.
We're a little close.
I'm just kidding. It's paid off.
What do you want to talk about first? NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, US Open reactions, or what was the other thing we were going to talk about today?
Early Wimbledon talks, swimming trials.
Swimming trials. Let's save the looking into the future for the end. But just reactions. You want to go US Open first or NBA playoffs first?
Yeah, US Open. Rahm, like we said off the air, Rahm makes 2 pretty amazing putts, which. Also, he set himself up to be in contention. He's best player in the world right now. I think
his ball striking was quality.
Just a quality player. Winning on Father's Day, his first Father's Day, that had to feel pretty cool. Honestly, like I dislike watching him. I very much dislike watching him because he's so neurotic at times. But I, respect the quality of his golf for sure. So sucked to have an Usti ticket. I did the crying face behind the happy face mask meme because I did catch like an Ustu's in top 20, never in doubt.
Never.
Paul Casey. Paul Casey looked great. Those were both almost 2-1, so those paid nice. But yeah, almost got top lefty. Bubba faded, and I think it was Harmon took top lefty. Top Continental Euro did not come through because
John
Rahm did take that as well. He was the heavy favorite there. I got no hole in one came through. A couple other props, some match. I won, I think, my first 4 matchups in a row.
We were cheated. Stuff. We were cheated out of a 4-1 playoff. Yes. I mean, when we were like halfway through the front 9 on Sunday, and that bunch of guys, there was 8 of the top 10 in the world were all kind of within 1 stroke of the lead. I think the odds that there was going to be a playoff at that point were probably like 60-70%. That was 4-1 prop. I'm mad that didn't cash.
They've been jacking those up, and a couple of them I bet because there were smaller fields. But yeah, I saw that too, and I didn't know what to make of this course for the most part. Obviously, a very different course, very different field this week, but it was a ton of fun watching them battle this one. There was some nasty lies, and you saw like, oh, why don't you, like, even Usti, why don't you go for the, like, because you can't stay on the green. Like you could go for it, and then you would just lose in a different way. Yeah, I don't know. Put yourself in a spot to hole out. I guess that's all you can do. And I don't know. The caddy probably, Frank said this in a tweet. Caddy was playing for his checkbook, which doesn't kill a guy. Like, yeah, you want that second place money, baby. You don't want to drop down to the Harris Englishes of the world. Which, that guy, good paycheck for him again after.
Man, he came out of nowhere too on Sunday. What did you think of? Joaquin Niemann, top South American was a nice one. I forgot I had that in my pocket. That was a winner. I had a bunch of Rahm from previous like March, April, May timeframe. One of our good golf buddies was basically like been beating the drum. Rahm, this is the perfect course for Rahm. Write it in pen. Rahm wins the U.S. Open for like 4 months now. And I was like, well, I'm going to feel stupid if I don't have a bunch of these tickets in. And then he goes on and wins. And sure enough, he did. And honestly, like I was kind of waiting to get more down live because I didn't think Rahm was going to come out as cleanly as he did. Like I thought maybe there'd be a little bit of rust after, 10 days spent in quarantine. But he was pretty much in the mix from his, right as he got into round 1. So never saw a better price than 10-1 where he went off, or thereabouts. It only went in one direction. And he was pretty impressive ultimately, especially on that back 9 when everyone else freaking melted down. What did you think of the meltdowns? Was it just the course was too hard, or was there a little kind of mental fatigue, pressure, just chokesmanship going on with a lot of those players?
I mean, I don't even want to call it a meltdown. If it's easy when you
what happened with Bryson DeChambeau?
Yeah, well, Bryson DeChambeau was just a really bad hole, and he can do that. I remember his 10. These things happen to Bryson. But let's talk about the normal golfers with normal non-scientist brains.
Rory?
Usti shot a 71. Brooks shot a 69. Morikawa shot a 70 on a very difficult course. Jon Rahm just went out there and shot a 67. It's hard to keep it together for 18 holes in this course, and some people shot some good rounds. Great Grace shot his way up the leaderboard with a 67. He was so
due though. He had plus 2 or 3 putting.
He had a bad Saturday.
He was. Yeah,
he had so some close. Makeup for sure. But I mean, a lot of these, Rory, just a couple holes. Obviously, he was right in it, but I was happy with him playing as well as he did based on some of the results we're seeing from him. Cantlay shot a 69 on the weekend. We aren't talking, it does get lost. It's almost like how Mr. Higo won last week.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about his compatriot who was like in 7th place. Like sometimes people a little further down the leaderboard get lost. Like, oh, everyone, Jon Rahm, such a Guido coming on tour. Guido on tour, top 5ing out of, and again, he shot a 68 on Sunday. He had a great round. Really wasn't in contention just because of, again, a Saturday 73. But like Guido, my guy, talk about sneaking it out for top Italian too, with the Molinari brothers playing good off the bat. I think Cisco dropped down to probably about even. I'd have to check where he finished. Not a big Cisco fan. I like the rap. I do like the rapper, but now we get into kind of the doldrums of golf. If you,
no way, dude! There's only like 4 weeks until the Open.
I know, but you see what these next few are like.
Yeah,
Travel.
the Tahoe one is fun.
No. Travelers is like 6,800 yards in Connecticut, and then you do like TPC Deer Run, and then I think it's I might have these out of order. I think it's Rocket Mortgage, which is a muni up in Detroit where they're going to shoot 25 under. Yeah, no, the Open, very excited, but like there's a few weeks in a row of like middling golf, which sometimes there's a lot of value in these tournaments. It's not like I haven't already bet the Travelers. Dan's giving me shit about that. Dan's going to the Travelers because he lives like 10 minutes from there. But no, that's and I will be reporting live from the 3M Open as well. Speaking of horrible golf tournaments. Just garbage. TPC Twin Minneapolis or TPC Twin Cities. Not a great course, but I'll be there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It was fun watching Brooks scramble. He had some wild scrambling and that back nine, especially to keep himself in contention. That was fun. I guess we're just kind of resigned to the fact that Brooks is a majors only kind of guy now. He's a different player. You can't use his statistics in between to tell you anything. Yeah,
it was hard. I almost had this convinced where Justin Rose is doing this shit. Because Justin Rose couldn't play well, garbage stats, and then like 3 majors in a row, he's like top 20ing, and my numbers are all jacked up on him. And I went back to the hole on him again. I just went right back to the well, and finally, like honestly, that maybe if Usti would have won, maybe betting against Justin Rose would have felt even better. Because I've been trying to do this for multiple the Masters. I bet him to miss the cut off his stats. He goes out in like top 10.
FRL. Yeah, he was
first round leader. Yeah, just mocking me. He did the same. The PGA, he played well too. And finally, it's like, all right, Justin Rose out there. Oh, would he end up with like 14 over?
He was last of top 50 golfers in the world.
13 over. Yeah. Finished in the Carson Shockey, Kung Hun Lee, Christopher Crawford group there. So that felt really good to get one right there. But I actually missed a lot of Sunday. I spent some time with the kids because it was Father's Day. So I went to a movie for like the first half of the final round, really.
Yeah.
So I legitimately turned my phone off and didn't really check. And I came out of the theater and Usti was up 2 shots late. I almost didn't want to. And then as I'm driving home and like trying not to be on my phone while I'm driving because it's illegal and dangerous, and I had a kid with me, so I'm just kind of like refreshing it, taking a quick glance, like, oh, okay, he's still up by 1, and then I get home and just it all unraveled.
Yeah,
but in the Heights, pretty good if you like musicals and Latin dancing. Kid liked it.
I thought that movie got canceled. No,
why? Wasn't that the Mulan one?
No,
I can't keep track. I can't treat.
I'm glad you got. I'm glad you went and saw it in the Heights. That's cool. That then you're broadening your kids' experience. That's great, man. Most of my major was watching the specific cam on Morikawa because I had a good investment on Morikawa to do well in this tournament. And my God, man, if that motherfucker could putt, he would be unbelievably good. He had he had 2 knock-ins on the front 9 that were like, how do you miss that? And then 2 lip outs on the back 9. He left 4 strokes on the course on a day where he shot 70 and finished tied for 4th. It was crazy, but his ball striking, his approach shots were just amazing, and it was always forgiven with that second shot that he had on 18. He had a fairway driver out and he hit it about 235-ish and put it in, right on the green in a place where he could have a chance for an eagle putt. There was only about a 6% chance he was going to make the putt, and but he left himself a makeable birdie, which was huge swing. That if he had eagled, I think that would have been like a 6-figure putt if that had fallen, that eagle, something like that, because it would have put him tied with Harris English, and he would have had the most eagles, tied for the most eagles on the tour. So that would have been nice, but that's okay.
You really can't watch him play. Like if you bet on him, don't watch him putt. It's so because it is kind of what's missing from his game. It's a little Matsuyama-esque where it's like, oh my god, this guy's amazing.
Dude.
And then
Round
it's like,
one, he had a couple too that were just like
it's
facepalm. Like how, dude? How?
It's the whole tournament. Yeah, if you bet him, don't watch him. Just kind of follow along. Maybe
his approach shots were amazing though.
Oh,
Every one of them. You watch his approach shots and you just know, you're like, wow, I wonder how close this one's going to get to the pin.
Likely the best irons player in the world right now.
It's amazing.
It's great. It's like me with when I turn the wind off on the video game. Like, oh, I can just make this stick right by the pin if I want. Which, by the way, the Travelers, I tweeted that this morning. That is the site of the Jim Furyk 58. I have a tall task. I will be up. Probably
you're how are you going to break that? You have to take the settings all the way to 0, or are they already at 0?
I'm gonna have to shoot like 13 under in a round. He did that. I think he did that with only one eagle too. It was just like a shitload. I think it was 1 eagle, 10 birdies or something. It was an amazing round. Like, again, it's a shorter course, but it was still a hell of a round. It wasn't that long ago. So I'm excited for that tomorrow. The Travelers, I'll have some more stuff out on that as we roll this week. I'm excited to just bet anything because the NBA has sucked my future liability all the way to my next future to settle will be a NFL future.
Round 2 was bad news, man. Round 2 of the playoffs was bad for me. I lost. The only kind of sort of I was right, and then I ended up backing my way out of was the Clippers were going to come back and win that series against the Jazz. But then after Kawhi Leonard got hurt and the Clippers won Game 5, I've hedged my balls off in that series, so I made no money on them advancing in 6. And in fact, actually, I think I came out a net loser because I had Utah in Game 6, and they managed to blow a 25-point lead. That was shocking. The blown leads.
I went to bed for that. I didn't watch that.
The blown leads have been incredible. Like the most dangerous lead in the NBA playoffs so far has been about a 25-point lead. Yeah. We saw the Sixers do it. We saw the Jazz do it. I think who else had a 20? The Bucks had a 25-point lead in one game. Was it Game 5 ultimately, and they blew it. But the Bucks come back to win. And I don't know. Did you watch much of that Nets Bucks Game 7?
Yeah, no, I watched that. That was great. Talk about
I
mean, game of inches measured in yards. Is that the NBA? No, it's game of runs.
Game of runs, yeah.
Game of runs. But no, Durant, maybe the greatest shot that never was. Like, if he really, that shot is going to get lost in the annals of history because they lost that game. But when he turned around, that guy was on him like stink on shit. I don't know how he created. I was going to say I don't know how he created the separation to get that shot off, but he really didn't. There was so little space to get that shot off. And he still got it off, and it was a beaut. And if his size 15s or however big they are weren't on the line, game's over. Like that, they win, they move on. They're heavy favorites in the conference finals. So, like, just again, I mean, it's not like they were over the line. It was on the line an inch or two, and that game goes a different way. So that will be a shot that I'll remember that maybe gets a little lost because that was really amazing. But kudos to the Bucks for hanging tough. Right?
Should we kudos the Bucks?
They played well. Like some of we should kudos the Bucks because the bench came out in Game 7, played like shit for 2.5, 3 quarters, and a couple of bench guys really picked it up in the fourth quarter and scored. A couple of them were kind of dangerous from 3 when, again, left wide open. Like, I can make a 3-pointer if you're gonna just let me sit there for long enough. I'll make some of them. I used to. You saw my shot.
I seen your game.
My jump shot has lost a little bit, but you get me in a gym, get me warming up a little. You guys didn't let me warm up, and then
that's fair. That's fair.
So, but I mean, they left some guys wide open on the kickouts. I mean, that kind of what killed them too. But no, I think the Bucks bench really stepped up there late, and it was something. Last night the Sixers match. I've been watching too much soccer. Sixers game was I think
Yeah.
a worse game 7.
I avoided some pain there, thankfully. That actually, most of my thought processes, a lot of Nets money got flushed for me, and a lot of Clippers potential winnings got flushed. So I'm frustrated, but I want a decent amount on the Suns. I want a decent amount on not going balls deep on the Sixers, because there was, the fact that Doc Rivers is like 1 in 20 all time in game 7s was kind of a stink that I couldn't really get over. Once the Hawks were up 3-2, it was like, well, even if the Sixers force a game 7, are they really potentially going to beat the Hawks? And I guess, am I being too reductive here? Was it more about what the Hawks did than it was about the Sixers' failings? Or did you think that just in general, that series was kind of Sixers are who we thought they were in terms of mental midgets?
I think we were. It's probably a lot of both columns. Like, it is a little bit. I don't want to say reductionist. That seems mean to like. It feels like I'm shitting on you, but I think you're. I think eventually.
Well, I asked you.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, you're stupid. You're wrong. That was a bad take. At old cold takes exposed or whatever. No, and I think you've seen a lot of that too. It wasn't just Doc Rivers sucks, and sure. I mean Ben Simmons. Like, what did I say about that in the chat this morning? It's like somebody didn't understand how to play the video game and hit the pass button instead of dunk. Like, what are you doing? And I get that his brain is broken, but him not contributing on offense, really, his free throw shooting being garbage. Who is Tobias Harris in the fourth quarter missed like 4 gimmies. It felt like some really
he was also wildly unclutched in game 5.
In the paint.
Collapsed.
Yeah. Like and it was just one of those, like, there was that stretch in the fourth where it's like nobody made a bucket for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And it felt like Tobias Harris missed 6 shots in there, like in the paint. Like, they were easy, they were just rattling out. It just felt like, this game might be over if they keep doing this shit. So I do want to, you do want to give it to the Hawks though. Trey being injured, being super similar to the Bucks, but I said, like, ineffective for 2.5, 3 quarters, and then Trey makes a couple of pretty nasty shots down the stretch with an injury. Like, you got to give it to him on that. Like, they're a good young team. I don't know how I feel about McMillan, but I feel better about him than Doc, I guess.
Yeah. McMillan's good. No, McMillan's good. He's done a really nice job this whole playoffs. I don't know. What's your read on Trae Young shoulder injury?
He is hurt. and I don't think they can advance. Like,
if he's not 100%, they're not going to beat the Bucks.
I think it sucks. And it's probably Bucks in 5 or 6, don't you? But again, I don't listen to me. I've lost every future. I had Sixers to win. I took some Nets at the, a big plus. I should have just bought on it. I had a good number on the Nets.
I know.
Good number on the Nets, a good number on the Jazz. I mean, just everything I touched just turned to shit. So don't listen to me. But like, from a casual Andy standpoint, it looks like Bucks in 5 or 6. If he's having to muster up all that just for a game 7, it's going to be hard in a 7-game series if he's not getting time to get that shoulder right.
I'm still stuck. And granted, I am like just awash with mental, cognitive dissonance, all kinds of biases clouding my vision on the Bucks, because I've had such great prices on them the last couple of years and they've done jack squat. And I watched them in a series like that Nets series where they should have been down 0-3 and probably quit and probably packed it in, but they got a couple lucky bounces at the end of game 3 and just an ugly, weirdly officiated game. They win a tough game 4. They get an enormous break in that Kyrie is done for the series. James Harden clearly was not even like 10%. I mean, I don't even know what to put his percentage on.
Yeah, game 3 was so big.
It was so big, and it just feels like they backed their way here, even in the freaking overtime possession. Like, the Nets had a ton of open looks. No one had legs. Nash didn't call a timeout when KD and Harden were playing. Like, no, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. Like, I could barely lift. I could barely dribble, man. Like those guys were so gassed, and that Nash did not give them a blow. I was like, it felt like the Bucks kind of are just being like awarded now a finals appearance based on just like a war of attrition. They're the last man standing when everyone else has got, just widespread injuries or just, just can't finish a 40-minute game.
Let's say it's Bucks in 6. They don't lose a home game. I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would be 2-2-1-1, and they would go 2. It would be 2-2, and then 3-2, 4-2.
Okay, so they win it in a pretty non-competitive 6-game series. Let's say, like the home games aren't in doubt. What's the best case scenario for the West? Like they're huge, not
for
huge.
them.
But, yeah, I mean, like just like you're saying, yeah, they're getting awarded a spot in the finals, but like either of these Western Conference teams, I'd make pretty big favorites over them. Like
not the Clippers. I don't think we're going to see Kawhi again.
And I guess that's the thing. I've been told that Kawhi could come back, so I suppose that does make that. It's maybe a silly conversation to have if we don't know. Like if he doesn't come back and the Clippers end up in there, I guess it's more of an even series because he's such a big piece. But I don't know. Suns pretty decent favorite. I'm gonna watch, but I'm as much as I'm excited about like this open playoff. Like there's all these teams that are doing well that I didn't expect it. I'm still like, oh man, I got Milwaukee Phoenix on my TV. What are we doing?
Yeah, right. I guess I don't want to count out the Hawks just yet. I'd like to see what kind of form Trae Young's in. If
Trae looks good and Boggy's healthy, yeah.
Like if you take it in a vacuum, the Bucks still have a problem where they give you way too many looks from 3. And if the Hawks have a couple of positive shooting nights like they did against the Sixers, game 1, great example. They had a white hot first half of that series, and the rest was history. Like if you have a game like that against the Bucks, you're going to beat them. So I don't really want to rule out the Hawks just yet, unless Trae Young truly is like just absolutely effed. But and Trae Young's not shooting, which is why I'm a little concerned about him. Like he's doing an amazing job facilitating. In fact, maybe ultimately from a career arc standpoint, like this little shoulder injury thing, like ultimately makes him a better player because he's rounding out his game more. I mean, that's possible.
How many shots do you think he put up last night or the other night? He put up like 25 shots. Drew.
He put up no, I know, but like if you look at over the course of the series, he barely shot threes in games 3, 4, 5. Like he was protecting his shoulder big time. Like once it got down to game 7,
saving it for 7.
He was saving it. Yeah, I guess so. But he was very hesitant to shoot, I thought, in games 3 and 4 and 5. But yeah, I mean, I guess they get a couple. Both teams get a couple days rest. They should both be fresh for game 1. I think the Hawks, if they have positive shooting night, can win a game or 2 in Milwaukee. And at that point, who the hell knows? I still don't think of the Bucks as an especially mentally tough unit at all. If the going gets tough, it could go sideways on them quickly. I like the Hawks defense. Honestly, the Hawks played great team defense against the Sixers. I mean, good.
This is just Andy not listening to you at all and thinking about something. Like I know, to be fair, like I'll come back to that because I agree. No, if they can shoot like they did, like you said in game 1, or they get some decent performances, if Trae's shoulder is not as bad as we think it might be, Bogdanovic's knee, which Dan brought up in the chat, if some of these injuries aren't as bad as we fear they are, it's probably a very competitive series. Yes. If these guys are hurt, like I think they are, it's Bucks in 5 or 6.
Okay.
What do you think NBA Finals tickets cost in Milwaukee? Like second deck, half decent. I don't want to sit courtside.
$500 maybe.
That's probably fair.
$1,000 maybe. In that ballpark. I guess I think
it's just not that far.
I don't think that the Bucks are going to be meaningful favorites in the finals against the Suns. If that's your finals, if it's Bucks Suns, that's probably that series is probably Suns minus 140, minus 150.
I'll make it 200. I'll do it right now.
You make it 200. Wow.
Because I don't care.
Okay.
But either way, as a Timberwolves fan, that might be my best chance to ever get to a finals game.
The probability of the Suns and the Bucks currently, the probability of the Suns and the Bucks making the final is almost equal by my numbers, like almost identical.
Well, if you look at the future prices, they're about minus 500 apiece.
The Suns are a little below the Bucks, so that is okay. So the future prices are maybe they're just factoring in that it's going to be easier for the Bucks to get there. I don't know. Maybe the Suns are going to be dogs. Suns would have home court. And home court's been pretty impressive in Phoenix. They've been supporting that team pretty damn good. Chris Paul will be back for sure. Chris Paul will definitely be back by then. There's no doubt. Finals start July 8th. I think it would be pretty ridiculous if he were still in health and safety protocol on July 8th.
He would literally have to be like on a ventilator. Like he'd have to get sick from it. Otherwise he's back.
It's been a very, very weird series. I in the back of my head, I want Suns Hawks. I feel like that would be the most entertaining series. The Bucks just aren't fun to watch, man. They're just not. The games just are they're tough. They're tough to watch. And Giannis, maybe Giannis takes a step forward and he becomes kind of the playoff superstar that he has yet to ever be in his career to this point. Like he's due. If you look at the trajectory, he's still improving. He's at about the point in time in his progression as where LeBron took the Heat team to the to the finals. So this would be about right.
Yeah, Suns fans, they gotta calm them down there. The Heat's getting to them. It's 115 down in the desert, and they're just beating everybody up. Rally the Valley, let's go. But I mean, I agree. I don't want to see the Bucks play any more games than I have to. I would agree that the Hawks, despite the amount of money they've taken from me, whether it was the regular season win total under that I had, the Heat to win the division, the Sixers to win the conference, they've cost me. I'd still rather see them in the finals over the Bucks. So I guess we'll cheer for Atlanta, the ATL. And we'll go from there. What do we got? So nothing tonight, and then Clippers Suns game 2 tomorrow. Phoenix 5.5 point favorite. Wednesday is the Hawks Bucks. Milwaukee is a 7-point home favorite. Should we take the points?
Yes.
Let's get some entry updates and probably take the points.
Yeah, I think you take the points in both of the next two games. Game 2, Clippers, I'll probably take the +6. That's too much of an adjustment. And then game 1, I'll probably take the points with the Hawks. Yeah, I mean, I'm at this point, if we have learned nothing else, just take the prices. Take the price. There's so much uncertainty, there's so much ridiculousness at this point. I don't think it's a bad idea to take a price.
See that commercial with Cliff is back?
Oh, is he?
Cliff Paul? Yeah, I haven't seen one of those
back
for a while. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just.
Is he going to be available?
Dressed up different. No, I don't think he's available either. But yeah, it would be nice to see CP3 back at some point during this series, at least. I just he's really good. He's a fun basketball player to watch. Sucks. He kind of got jobbed on this whole thing, I really think. You got John. I don't know all the details of who's vaccinated and who's not and all the rules, but it just sucks. Maybe I think it sucks more because he's had such bad luck over this sort of shit over the years. At this point, I just feel really bad for him. He's just
he deserves a break.
Yeah, he deserves a goddamn break in the playoffs. I'd love to see him get the finals here and take it down. Rally the Valley. Let's go.
We agree. Hey, let's talk a little Euro and then look into the future. You don't want to confront. What's going on, man? What's the deal here?
I'm a casual Euro bettor, and I got a soft PK from Russia.
I feel like Rob Pizzola's in my head because he keeps being like, "Hey, Pinnacle's taking $1 million on this. The market's sharp. You're not going to win." And it's messing with.
He's right. I'm using the Chris numbers to bet these. Jesus. So yeah, I mean, a soft PK, and then really that North Macedonian striker who just that would have been the best goal of the damn day when he ripped that one from 25 yards out, and it just hit the woodwork hard, and really another 6 inches over, and it bounces in. So I think I should have got that both teams to score. I'm right on the cusp of winning one here, and I won money on Saturday or Sunday when I didn't even really have time. I was busy cooking all day. I did get a lecture this morning from the chat in Brown Bag Bets. I need to eat more vegetables.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
After I explained how much meat I ate this weekend, which is, again, I had fresh asparagus.
Man. That's how it goes.
We've got, you know how much leaf lettuce I got in the garden up now? I've been eating salads like every day.
Excellent.
Because I got the, you know what I'm saying? Salad spinner.
Salad spinner, of course.
Salads, that's how you bring the bowl up there, you harvest it, you rinse it, and then you spin it, and then you put it in the fridge. You have cold lettuce. It's so good. I'm excited about that. Tomorrow, do we just have the 2-year-old games? Hopefully, to keep me from I can't lose 4 tomorrow at least.
Yeah, but they're tough. They're a tough handicap.
They're so tough. Like the England thing, I guess they might be like trying to lose. People have said this, but at the same time, like, you're gonna have to face these good teams eventually, and you might get Spain if you don't win this game. So the Czechs don't want that either. The Czechs might try to lose. The Czechs are 7-1 underdogs tomorrow. England's a -200 favorite. I think the draw is about +250. So yeah, I don't know what to do with that one. I'll find it. Honestly, that's probably an underlook. If they do like a handshake draw and let the Czechs win the group, that would be something. Croatia, Scotland, really, that's a really tough one too, I think. I'll probably just go Croats. I don't like them. I don't think they're good, but Scotland's missing a player now for some COVID. England may be missing some players who are in they're in close watch because they were in close contact with the Scottish player who has some COVID issues. So I'm probably not going to dig into that until I get a little more clarity on that in the morning. But Scotland's not eliminated. If they won, they'd have 4 points, which, you know, that 4 points will get you through most likely in a 3rd place spot.
Yeah, they're missing their best player though.
They're in a tough spot versus Croatia. So like they'll be trying, but what are you going to do? So England might be starting a backwards lineup because they're missing players and they don't have real incentive to win the group other than the pride of winning the group and getting the shit kicked out of them by France, probably Portugal.
We don't even know.
We don't know. That group's such a mess right now too. So I'm not going to put a lot of stock into any teams trying to get too clever by half and positioning themselves.
France and Portugal are both through, right? Oh no, yes. Portugal's not. France is.
Germany and France are.
Germany and France are through. Portugal, we don't know yet.
I am going to just look at the lineups when they come out.
Okay.
About an hour before the match.
Okay.
Kind of make some judgment calls off the lineups. Honestly, I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to throw my darts. I'm going to talk to some smart people. This is what I do in other sports that I don't bet. So, and Dan says France
Dan's
is
right. Yeah, because Germany lost one. Yeah, so Germany has 3 points. Portugal has 3 points. France has 4. If France finishes 3rd with 4 points, they're automatically through. So
and they play Hungary.
Yeah. No, France.
No, that Portugal plays Hungary.
Germany plays Hungary.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Germany's.
That's probably why you thought. That's probably why you thought they were through, is because they.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look what happened in World War I. There, Mr. The Auto Hungarian.
What is going on with Mbappe and Giroud? They got a little tete-a-tete.
French people just are mean.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever met Food Snob Frog?
He's perfectly nice.
No, he's always picking. Nice. He's always picking on me.
Oh, is he?
No, not really.
I think you just interpret his emoji faces as meaning something they don't mean. Yeah.
No, I just like to give him shit. Yeah, Italy, obviously. Italy, Belgium.
Italy, the most impressive tournament so far?
Italy, Belgium, and Netherlands each with 9 points, but Italy probably the most impressive, but maybe against one of the weaker groups. Obviously, Turkey
I would say
is a laugher. Switzerland has some good players, but the team isn't quite there. And Wales is through. But like
they stink. Yeah.
They stink. So Belgium, I'd say Belgium probably more impressive from a team standpoint, how they've looked at times against half decent Denmark team.
Yeah.
Half decent.
Especially in that second half against them.
It's not like Finland's not good. They didn't have Pukki their first match, but they played well enough. So I think Belgium may be a little more impressive. The Netherlands, I mean, they won all their matches. Ukraine put them to the test. It was
They have goal scoring ability, which is
they
important.
do have goal scoring ability. I don't know. I was surprised they didn't have more problems with the back end defense. So tomorrow I'm not super sure, and that leaves us with 2 more groups on Wednesday: the Sweden, Slovakia, Spain, Poland group.
What do you think my chances are of getting a Spain group winner still?
It will be tough because you need Sweden to
draw or lose.
Yeah. So Spain really kind of sealed their fate with the
draw. I mean,
2 bad draws.
2 bad ones. Yeah. They just absolutely, the XG would tell you that those were both 67 to 80% win likelihood. And
they should have both. Like 5 or 6 goals. They have 1. That was, both were bad draws. We knew they were going to have some COVID issues coming in. They were getting the shots during the tournament, we're thinking maybe is what's happening too.
Not sure why they decided to do that, but bad planning Spain.
So I'm not sure what happens. I think Spain gets through. But yes, Sweden might win the GD group, which is funny.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if the Czechs and the Swedes win their groups. It was like, Italy, Belgium, even the Netherlands, there was some talk of maybe Austria, Ukraine playing well, and honestly, North Macedonia is a pain in the ass to play. Even they scored 2 goals. The North Macedonians scored 2 goals. That's more than Finland.
Finland only got 1. Yeah, and that one was a little weird.
So Spain likely through, but it'd be tough for them to win their group.
Okay, well, we'll know for sure the knockouts on Wednesday. We're gonna have another guest, a guy who's got a true soccer originator that we can kind of pick through his process. And I don't know that he's going to have lots of international tips for us, but it'll be a great conversation regardless on how you handicap international footy or just footy in general. Talk a little golf probably with him as well, because he's an excellent golf originator. Either way, it should be interesting. Oh man, Tampa Bay just throttling the poor Islanders right now, 3-0. I laid the goal line on that. That was the only bet I played today because I'm a degenerate and I had no basketball to bet on, and I wanted to bet something in the playoffs. So I laid 1.5 with the Tampa Bay Islanders. What do you think?
You so close, so close to saying Bucks there.
I know, it was very close.
You struggled. It's like muscle memory. Oh boy, football writer. I started my football prep a little today. I started putting outlines together for the information I need to gather for each team that I do every year before I start running numbers. Because it's kind of twofold. You got to look at numbers. You got to start putting your power rankings together. But I really do like to do all the informational stuff first. So I have some baseline for some of the reasoning if I'm going to make adjustments off of priors. So started on that, got me pretty excited about the NFL. We'll get into we haven't talked about that. Which division should we do first? Which division has the least? We always save the NFC North will probably be last because we want to see what happens with Rodgers.
The NFC North and the AFC South we're gonna have to save to the end.
Yeah, we save the ones where it's like we really, really, really should figure out what's going on with this. Fill in the key player. And we save it like the Patriots last year, not knowing what they're going to start at quarterback. We save that one for later. So that'll be last. Which division has like the most
stability?
Yeah, like there's nothing too crazy going on.
NFC West, maybe?
It might be the NFC West because it's like the quarterbacks are – I don't think they're going to go Fields, obviously. So it's your 4 quarterbacks are kind of set in stone. We know a lot lot about those coaches already.
Femi on the same wavelength.
Yeah, Femi
banger. Like
Femi's he's a Seattle guy. Like he's a Seahawks guy. Of course he wants that, but he might be right just by luck because that is kind of a division I think
pretty stable.
Pretty stable.
That one in the
maybe NFC East.
AFC North is pretty stable. NFC East is pretty stable. AFC East is pretty stable.
NFC East, we're getting some new quarterback play, but at the same time, like we know what's going to happen. Or like
we don't know who the Broncos QB is yet, so we got to save the AFC West. We don't know about Aaron Rodgers, so we got to save the NFC North.
We don't know about the legal status.
Watson, so we got to save the AFC South. So yeah, we can do the other 5 though for sure.
Yep. So we'll pick one of those and start with us in a few weeks. Very excited.
NFC South might be a decent one to start too, because that is your reigning champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We'll do it just like they do. Like, you start with the champs play somebody.
Yeah, that might be the way to go. Because I like to build into it a little bit before we get to something that's as good as the NFC West.
Yeah, because it's easy to talk about the Bucs. Like we're not gonna have any Skip Bayless hot takes or any real surprises. Like, hey, we think the Bucs might be good again, or like
Bucs 5-11.
I mean, there are going to be some surprises in that division, just because it'll be interesting to see what what we do at quarter, or how the quarterback play in New Orleans is.
Yep.
What the post Julio Falcons look like, and really
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, is he gonna fix all the things that are wrong with him as a quarterback just because he has some decent coaching?
Ooh,
investors.
Olympics are also coming up.
Very excited.
I've started to get really deep into the swimming handicap, which is of course my favorite part of the Olympics, bar none. If you are new to sort of betting on the Olympics, it is a 2-week event. And the prime time events in week 1 are swimming and gymnastics. The prime time event in week 2 is track and field. Okay, so week 1, there's going to be a lot of swimming in prime time and a lot of gymnastics. Gymnastics is not easy to bet on. There's just not many markets, and there is a pretty damn decent certainty that the best gymnast in the universe is in known quantity in Simone Biles for the United States. So it's just going to be a lot of chalky U.S. prices. And the women's gymnastics, men's gymnastics, we stink, but that's okay. Not a lot of bets to be made on the men's gymnastics side. Swimming, on the other hand, offers an awesome amount of betting. Okay,
I have bet on trampoline already.
Oh, really?
That's gymnastics. Dong dong.
It is. Oh, long dong. Right. Okay.
No, dong dong. It's the same word.
Oh, okay.
Dong
dong.
He placed decent at the World Championships on trampoline the other year, and he's like a 4-1.
China's going to sweep the gold, silver in that event without question. So as long as
they're
Chinese,
very good.
I support that wager.
Very, very good at trampoline.
Very, very
fight. Good. I would like to see like trampoline fighting, but that's the Olympics is not answering my letters. Anyway, dong dong. I placed that. That's my only Olympic bet. I am very pumped. From you and Money Mark Mills, I learned a lot about taper back in the day.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited to start, handicapping swimming. There are so many events.
The entire handicap this year revolves around taper, because guess what? The U.S. not only did we not get. Usually, you have a preceding year where there are worlds, and you get to see all these contenders at least swim against each other once. Fully tapered, fully shaved, like balls to the wall. Like, this is our max effort, best we can possibly do right now. You get to see it once. We did not get to see that because that was in 2019. There was no Worlds in 2020. And so there's a little gap in time that you would normally use to handicap swimming, right? Well, if you're breaking down trials, and right now European trials are going on. Last week, U.S. swimming trials went on, and then Australian swimming trials went on. The Australians swam in Adelaide, and they blew doors off. They were so freaking fast, like full-on threatening world records in some events where I didn't think world records were possible to be threatened. And there is still kind of rumors swirling. Yeah, some of these women were not tapered. We're not fully tapered. Yeah, go ahead.
What do you know about that pool?
Is it 49 meters?
No, I mean, because there are faster pools. Like Arizona State's pool is fast as shit. Yeah, like what do we know about the Adelaide pool?
I will do a little bit of research and have a better answer for you when we actually get into our Olympics handicap. But I can tell you with crystal clear certainty that the Australians have a telltale do great at trials, underwhelm at the Olympics. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if it's they blow their taper every time. I don't really know what it is at all. But at least this is even more aggressive than a normal year, right? They were unreal fast. And we were disappointing at trials. Usually we, our best go in and they're like not fully tapered, or they're, partially tapered, whatever. and they still just absolutely light it up because the atmosphere is usually like really high energy and like, it's a really big deal. And yes, we've had 5 years waiting for this moment. But even with all of that, in the Omaha pool, which we know is a fast pool, they were underwhelming. Both the men's and especially the men's side. The women's side, we have obviously Katie Ledecky, although she is going to be in a little bit of a tight spot.
Phone's ringing.
Yeah, I know. I just muted it. Sorry about that. Yeah, Katie Ledecky is in a little bit of a tight spot, obviously, because she is up against just a true challenger from Australia this year, as well as a couple very good European swimmers. So she's going to have her hands full. I think she still wins gold in the 800, but the 400 and the 200 look like long shots now for her. And yeah, we're going to need to see these women make an enormous leap. Honestly, watching Ledecky in the trials, I thought, oh, good. Like last time around, she really just like blew it out at trials. Like it was like, you save some for the Olympics. Like you don't have to swim this fast. You're obviously going to win. You don't need to lap the other women in the pool. Like you clearly won, right? But she still was going max power in trials and then repeated it in the Olympics, no problem. Well, this time around, it did feel like she was a little more kind of political, a little bit more cagey. She was keeping the best of it, kind of, keeping it in a little bit. Like we didn't see her best, but even still, she's going to have to go her all-time best, fastest ever 400 to win the 400 and the 200, and that's going to be a tough ask. So I'm a little nervous about our Team USA swimming hopes. And on the men's side, we have a guy in Caleb Dressel who can win the 100 fly, and I think that's probably it. Like, I don't know how many goals we're taking.
How do you think this affects the gold handicap for the US?
It hurts. It hurts.
Are we an under team, or is the number pretty good now? Like
for
I
swimming?
looked at it, just in general, because it's a gold. The gold prices, overall golds. They know what kind of money. It's like England and the Euros. They know they're going to take money on the USA over. We bet the USA under in the past because it was inflated. Like, is it inflated because we did so well at swimming in years past? It's not just Phelps wins like 11 medals and Ledecky wins all the women's events and we do well in the relays. Is it inflated, just strictly based off swimming? I haven't got deep into track yet. I haven't got deep into some other events, but yeah, like I do like the analogy. Like it's almost like a salesman, how we do approach it, where you kind of under promise, over deliver. You don't blast it out of the pool in the trials and stuff. You get there and drive for show, putt for dough.
There you go. My guess is that the U.S. medal total is best estimate of all of the major events summed all together. And the best estimate of swimming is probably their average medals over the last 3 years. And without looking, I think the USA probably gets about, on average, 16 golds out of swimming.
I was going to say 15.
I think it's about 16 per year on average over the last 3. In the Phelps era, it was about 16 per year. And I would guess that if we come in at 4 or 6 instead of 16, that's 10 missing golds on the 10 missing golds on the U.S. total count that you got to find. You got to make it up somewhere. And I don't know where
you have to
we're
dig
making them
into
up this year.
You'll have to dig into all these other events, see if we're favored somewhere where we don't normally win. Obviously, the softball girls should win. The women, the basketball,
women's basketball,
that women's basketball is going to be bad. Like those girls are going to wreck. There's a few gimmies, but also the medal totals are like 47. So that'll be something I'll dig into over the next couple weeks. Remember the Torpedo?
I do. Ian Thorpe, yes.
His son is racing in these Olympics.
What?
I made that up. I don't know how old he is. I just want to
know that he has a son.
No, I don't even know if he has kids. His
Yeah.
kids would be like 10, Drew. I'm just I just remembered
There's
him.
there was an 18-year-old girl who almost broke the world record in the 100-meter fly.
That's like gymnastics. China used like 9-year-olds. It's easier when they're smaller.
Ian Thorpe is 38, and to the best
I mean, he could have like a 17-year-old if he got after it early.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like our age.
If you had said his daughter, then he is out of the closet gay.
What?
Yeah, a lot of yes.
But he could still. But he could have then. You can still adopt kids or do.
I thought that was innuendo, but apparently he did a big interview and he is out of the closet gay. Fascinating. A lot of that going around today.
Weird, weird timing
Weird
today.
timing.
Yeah, it is Pride Month because we had
Carl Nassib.
He played for Syracuse. Yeah, Nassib. Yeah, I don't know.
Right? It was Carl. Yeah.
Carl.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, no, I think ultimately the U.S. swimming team, I'm nervous because they did not perform especially well. And there no Michael Phelps coming to save the day with 4 or 5 golds, 6, 7, 8 golds type of performance this year. I think for sure the kind of the natural kind of progression of these athletes was wildly disrupted last year with COVID. So I think we're in a little bit of a tight spot. It's not looking great. Not looking great, man. So we'll see. But yeah, I think Australia potentially is the beneficiary of this, and their over golds is worth a look, and our under golds maybe impacted.
So so far, just some. What do we go? Japan under, Russia over.
Yeah, those are. No, I didn't like Japan.
No. Japan. China who was the country who went under on? I'd have to go look. It's in the account.
The Japan number was high.
Mostly Russia overs. Japan.
Russia over is my only really strong opinion at this point.
Played that at a couple places. I think it might have been. Is this live? This boxing match? This Lomachenko? Is he fighting right now, or is this a replay? The TV's still just on from Euros, and there's like boxing on now. Top rank.
It's old.
Yeah. I think I would have heard about this. Either way, we'll get some cards together for the Olympics. We'll put out a bunch of stuff we end up playing after we play it, because some of that stuff tends to
you're watching the replay. Lomachenko's fighting the 26th. He's fighting Saturday in Vegas.
He also has good colors, though. He does the blue and yellow so nice.
Yeah, absolutely right. Okay. Well, did you want to touch on anything else about looking into the future?
Little quick on Wimbledon. If you have a book, if you have a book that's behind, and you can get, our guy Novak at like -110 or better, that might be worth a look. He's gonna close like -150, right?
That
nobody's playing, and he's so good right now. This is it, and this is his chance to really have a fuck you year. So if you get even money, I would play it at even money.
I would play it at even money as well. What's the best price you see?
I'm just saying some places are a little behind on that sometimes. Some places are up to -130 already.
Are they really?
Yeah. It might be a little past prime. That fruit might have spoiled.
His path is going to be monstrously easy.
Yeah. It's just like, can he win another decent 5-setter in a final? Versus, again, we don't even know who the second best player will be right now in that tournament.
We don't. Who's your guess? Berrettini? Tsitsipas?
We kind of went with Tsitsipas just based off just where Med is, and just Rublev on grass. I don't know, like Rude on grass, like all the usual suspects. Even if Dominic. No. I'm just thinking like my big name, like Berrettini. I'm not a big Chapo guy. Oh man. And then you start getting down, once you get down into like the guys who are ranked like 15 to 20th, like when you say Demon Hour, Felix is going to win this. Gale?
No.
Hubert Herkitz?
No. He's not bad.
I like Hubie.
Better than his price, but he doesn't have a realistic chance. No. This is Djokovic's to lose.
Yeah.
Like I think you can still find -110-ish, -108. Yeah, I see across the pond. He's at 1.91, 1.92, pretty much across the board.
If you can get -110, I would play it.
I would too. I think my fair price for Djokovic without seeing the draw is probably about 58%. And when we see the draw, it's probably going to go up because he's going to have a damn good draw.
That's what I'm saying. Like if he gets the cakewalk red carpet draw, all of a sudden it's minus 150.
Yeah. And realistically, all the other challengers, the Tsitsipas's, the Berrettinis, are probably going to end up on the other side of the draw with a guy like Federer, who is going to summarily kind of go balls to the wall against all those guys and, really, just leave it all out on the court. And
here's a good question.
Get through.
So there was some, I don't want to say casuals, but people who just don't maybe follow as much tennis. Somebody asked the question. It was a fair question on Twitter. I can't remember who asked it, but they said, why isn't it 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3 in the semifinals of the French Open? Why do they draw it like this? The French Open does stuff how they do it. Like they do stuff how they do. I think Wimbledon has a much more sensible draw where they don't get wild with it like that. They don't just go strictly off some stuff. They also
do a specific grass ranking though.
Yes. So
I don't know if there's been any grass points awarded.
That's the thing. Like they're gonna have to take some of 2 years into account. I'm not sure if that's what they're gonna do because we missed some of the grass court season. So it'll be maybe based off what happens over the next couple weeks, which is not maybe a great indicator because not all the best players are gonna want to go play in some of these grass tournaments. They have enough experience over their careers and they've played enough hard courts where they're going to be just fine to go play these grass courts. But 1,
2, 3, 4 are properly seeded for Wimbledon. 5, 6, 7, 8 are scrambled, and I think it's 5, 6 are scrambled, 7, 8 are scrambled. And it's a little bit of a random drawing in that regard.
It's a draw in the fact that they do some drawing for some of the seating down there. So
yeah,
a little scrambling.
So that said, let's see if we can get a current ranking up here for the men's singles. I'm curious. Djokovic is the 1 seed, Medvedev is the 2 seed, Tsitsipas is the 3 seed. So Medvedev and Tsitsipas will be on the opposite side of the draw as Djokovic. Djokovic is, oh my God, the number 4 seed is Team.
It'll be, is he playing?
If he doesn't play, I guess
Zverev
bounced up. But I think Team is going to play. I'd be surprised.
You're right.
It's a big pay. This is one of the bigger paychecks you get all year. I think Team probably plays. And yeah, so you could have a situation play out where Djokovic could be on the top half with Team, Zverev, and Berrettini.
Don't scroll down.
Why?
Just where are you at? Like, where are you looking on the screen right now for rankings?
I'm looking at Wikipedia.
Okay. Who's the top ranked American right now?
Isner? No. No. It's is it Korda?
You got to scroll a little bit.
Seabass?
It is Riley.
Wow.
He's 1 spot ahead of Big John. So
wow.
I mean, he's had a nice
Frank
nice
Tiafoe is doing pretty good. Korda's doing pretty good. America might not be terrible at Wimbledon.
Taylor Fritz and Sebastian Korda also in the top 50.
Fritz is out. He tore his meniscus.
Yeah,
right?
But still, he was having some success. Tommy Paul and Tiafoe right there. Actually, Sam Querrey 60th. Those 3, and then Marcos Chiron, Tennis Sandgren, Stevie Johnson. Yeah, then you're starting to get in. I mean, they're still in the top 100. It's something.
Yeah, no, but the culminating point here is Djokovic's draw is going to be stupid easy. His worst case scenario is that he gets Berrettini again in the quarterfinals, but he can dispatch Berrettini, I think, relatively comfortably. He could dispatch Federer relatively comfortably. And if Team does dry out and these guys all get bumped up one, and now he potentially gets Roberto Batista Agut in the quarterfinals, my goodness, his price to get through to the semis is going to be like 1.06. I mean, it's going to be super, 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 super small. Women's is anyone's guess. I don't know who's in form. I don't know who possibly has a chance here. Just running down the list. Ash Barty, out of form. She's hurt. I don't even know if she'll play. Simona Halep, out of form. She's hurt. I don't even know if she'll play. Arina Sabalenka, she's great, but she chokes in slams. Elina Svitolina, she's not great on grass, and she chokes in slams. Sophia Kenin is not a grass player. Bianca Andreescu, not a grass player. Serena Williams, probably her proverbial favorite, or she ought to be, I guess.
She will be, yeah.
Let's look. Is she the favorite? I don't even see it. I don't even see a women's market up. That's funny.
That's a shame.
They don't know. Maybe. Let me see.
I wouldn't be excited about putting it up too early. Just
anyone I didn't get to that you were kind of interested in or curious about?
No, it's funny too because of just all the things that like Noop's betting this morning. He's like he's not betting on any women right now. He's betting against women who are bad at grass courts. Like that's kind of the wager right now. Whenever you switch, whenever there's a major swing in the tennis season and you switch. Surfaces like this, there's always some decent opportunities to be like, hey, these players have been playing good. Yeah, guess what? They're going to get their shit kicked out of them on clay, or dude, they're not good on grass.
The market leader right now is Ash Barty, and I don't know if she plays. If she's healthy enough to get through a fortnight, and if she is healthy enough to get through a fortnight, if she ever puts together her game on grass, because she has always been like, she should be good at this. She's a freaking cricket player, for Christ's sake. She should be good on grass, but for whatever reason, she never has done it at Wimbledon. And so for her to be the market leader is bananas to me. Serena, you can currently get her in the, I see some 7.5, 9, 8, 9.5 actually out there. So that's plus 850. I would play that on Serena and not really think twice about it. Naomi Osaka obviously has already pulled out. Iga Swiatek is not good enough on grass to win consideration. Karolina Pliskova, forget about it. She's a head case. Belinda Bencic, interesting look. She's got a big price. She was pretty great in Berlin. Her price currently is in the 44 range. You can get a 44 on Bencic right now. Which is surprising. Kvitova, I'm willing to rule out. She is over the hill. Garbarine Muguruza, I'm willing to rule out. She is not fit. Azarenka is not fit.
Zachary.
She can make a nice little run again, but ultimately, is she going to be able to win 7 matches on grass? I question that.
Somebody has to.
Somebody's got to.
Johanna Konta.
No, realistically, it could entirely be the same sort of thing as the French Open, where someone whose name I heard for the first time in my life a week before the tournament ended up winning.
Yeah, this is why I don't bet women's tennis. Like, I have to go to Tennis Abstract to even figure out if some of these girls have even played much grass.
Your girl Angie Kerber might have a dangerous little draw.
You know what? I'm making
She's a great
bet.
Grass player.
I'm making a bet. It's going to be Marta Kostyuk from the Ukraine. Ukraine owes me some money here. She's doing all right. She just took out the one. She just took out the 1 seed at Eastbourne.
What price do you get on Marta? 200 to 1?
No, 66.
Betfair has her 200 to 1 right now.
Well, not in England.
All it takes is a click of the old VPN.
Yeah, that does not work.
No, it doesn't.
I do have some friends over there. I should talk to I have family in Germany. Like,
what was the price you got on
just set up a computer.
60, 67-ish?
67, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, that's nice.
I'm trying to look at her grass courts. Show her whole career. She got the shit kicked out of her at Wimbledon last year or 2 years ago. She won 1 match.
She's super duper young.
Yeah, she was born in 2002. That's when I graduated. You know what I'm playing her? Marta Kostyuk. And then also I put this parlay down there. If you parlay Joker with my trampoline guy, pays almost 9 to 1. 8.5 to 1. I'm not sure if they'll let you parlay that. Marta.
There's no correlation.
No, he's the boob thrower.
That's true. Boob versus and dong parlay.
Look at that. Wimbledon picks. Oh, also, I do have to mention, I'll retweet this too, but we're going to have a giveaway again for WinBet. It's certainly not going to be hoodies unless you live in like northern Alberta, like our friend Danny McNeil. It is too hot for a hoodie. So we're going to find something summer themed. We're going to give it away. If you were signed up, I know, a lot of people are already signed up in the States, but we have links for Tennessee. We have links for Virginia. We have links for Indiana. If you have not taken advantage of some of those yet, I just put them up today, actually. You can still get your $500 risk-free bet. We're likely going to be able to create our own boosted games. So we'll have some fun promos with that too, but fun summer giveaway where you get something free. So sign up. I'll get you those links for Tennessee, Indiana, and Virginia, maybe more states. I don't know. Sign up free. What about Canadians? Canadians, you'll have to pop down to Michigan. Yeah. Across the border, I've heard they're just letting people through now. It's easy.
Yeah, but since Montreal, Vegas, the pandemic is over.
Yeah, it's over now.
No, I have. I'm looking at the WinBet app right now to try to find Wimbledon futures. They're not up yet, but I do have a pick. There's one woman in my rankings who is sneaky high on grass, who we haven't mentioned, and I want to see if you can guess who my pick is. Let me give you the price first. I'm playing her at 51. So 51.
Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova.
Ooh, no, but boy, was she great at the French Open. No on Pavs. I'm
really not sure then. Kiki Bertens.
I think she retired.
I meant Elise Mertens.
She's not going to be an elite player whenever she runs into one. Although there's not many elite players in this draw.
Petra Kvitova.
Although it could be the Belgian summer. Why not?
Kvitova is probably one of the favorites.
Out on Kvitova.
Yeah, that's her price. Her price just sucks. Coco is an American.
No, it's not.
Paula Badosa.
No, that's another great call though. She was really impressive on clay.
Is it? I mean, are you just gonna go? Krejcikovic just keeps winning?
No, hell no.
Like you can't continue to play that.
She's playing in Eastbourne. She's 10-1, and her odds to win Wimbledon are 50-1.
Rybakina.
No, that's a nice one though. It's an interesting call. I'm out on Rybakina. I'm out on Rybakina until she does something in a slam.
Okay, then I might be pretty much out of guesses. Jen Brady.
Okay, she is the number 1 ranked player on her continent. The number 1 ranked player from her continent by a lot.
So it's an Asian. No, because that would be Naomi. Oh boy. South American? We're gonna play a South American?
No, I don't even know.
Who
is the best South American woman?
I could not name one.
I don't think I could either. Woman. Venezuelan, probably somebody from Venezuela or Colombia.
There's got to be. All right, give me a little time.
Podoroska or
Podoroska.
Podoroska from Argentina, maybe. Yeah,
I forget she's from Argentina. Ons Jabeur.
Yes.
Which continent is that from?
Africa. Tunisia.
Oh my God, I forgot Tunisia. Yes,
she's Tunisian.
The flag looks just like Turkey, so I was thinking she's Turkish.
It does.
And I feel bad about that.
It does. Yeah, I'm playing Ons Jabeur. I'm playing Ons Jabeur for 50-1 to win Wimbledon. You want to know something? I have her as the number 6 rated grass player on the women's tour, and we're getting her at 50-1.
Not sure I got her last name right here.
Yeah, no, that's it. You nailed it. You nailed
E before
it.
you?
Spelling.
E before you, except after Q.
Jabeur. Yes.
All right, I'm going to go home and sit in my hammock.
Ons Jabeur. Yes, we're now Tunisian tennis fans for the next fortnight and a half.
Where is Marrakesh? Oh, that's Morocco. I was thinking Marrakesh.
Tunisia is just across the Mediterranean Sea from Italy, right? They had a lot of conflicts with the ancient Romans back in the day. I think Carthage right around there in Tunisia area, Algeria.
Carthage wasn't built in a day, Drew.
There's a lot of bad blood between the Tunisian folks and the ancient Romans back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And this guy does ask, what about Canadians? LOL. He says, I don't know. Maybe they're finally talking about it in your parliament or whatever the hell you got up there. So maybe WinBet and some of these U.S. operators will end up in Canada because it looks like you're going to have legal single game betting up there in Canada. I will check with Big Ten Watto to see the update. He sits at home and watches Canadian C-SPAN all day long, so he's up to date on that. We'll check in that. But yeah, let's. I'm gonna go home. I'm hungry. Right. I didn't eat supper yet.
Good.
Gonna have some vegetables. We'll be back for more Euro talk with someone who knows what they're doing on Wednesday.
By the time we get to Wednesday, Andy will be out of the cold spell and a heater will be on the nigh.
I mean, you throw enough darts, you're gonna end up winning a few. It's just how things.
It's when you're handicapping an unfamiliar sport, it gets streaky. I understand that. That's how it goes, man.
It does.
You're streaking. You're
So
gonna be on a streaky heater once we get to the knockout rounds. I can feel it.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing next Monday yet, but there may be some hot dog talk in a week or two here.
Oh, hell yes.
It's coming.
Hell yes.
I honestly was surprised at how many women's tennis players I could name.
I was impressive. I really was. That was a tour de force by you.
I do that show with noobs every day, and eventually,
it is such a crapshoot. I mean, honestly, like if you're not playing someone 50-1, don't bother. I mean, I do like Serena a little bit at 9-1.
At 9-1, yeah, I was ready to play her at 6.
Yeah, if you can find it at 9, I like that. But I don't even know. I mean, she looked okay at Roland Garros until she didn't.